You may not even realize you're being abused until years later. Narcissistic abuse is often so well hidden that it can take months or even years before the truth comes to light. Many people who experience it don't have bruises or scars that others can see. Instead, the wounds are internal, emotional, psychological, and deeply personal. You might look back on your life and wonder when things started to change, when you began to feel so small, so unsure of yourself. Narcissistic abuse isn't always obvious. It's not just yelling or insults. Sometimes it's the way someone constantly undermines your confidence, or how they twist your words until you start doubting your own thoughts. It can be a partner, a parent, a friend, or even a boss. Anyone who uses manipulation and control to get what they want. The abuse can be so subtle that you start to question if it's even happening at all. Sometimes it's subtle, like constant criticism, silent treatments, or making you doubt your own memory. You might find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do, or feeling guilty for simply expressing your needs. The abuser may give you the cold shoulder for days, making you feel invisible and unworthy. They might rewrite history, insisting that events happened differently than you remember, leaving you confused and anxious. Over time, this wears you down. The constant stress and emotional turmoil can leave you feeling exhausted, both mentally and physically. You might notice changes in your sleep, your appetite, or your ability to concentrate. The world starts to feel heavy, and you begin to lose sight of who you once were. Imagine being told over and over that you're too sensitive, or that your feelings don't matter. Every time you try to stand up for yourself, you're met with ridicule or dismissal. The abuser might laugh at your pain, or accuse you of overreacting. Slowly you start to believe their words, and your self-worth begins to erode. You start believing it. Slowly your confidence shrinks. You might stop sharing your opinions or avoid making decisions out of fear of being wrong. The person you see in the mirror no longer feels familiar. You wonder where your spark went, and why you feel so empty inside. You question your reality. Am I the problem? This is called gaslighting, and it's a common weapon in narcissistic abuse. Gaslighting makes you doubt your own memories, your instincts, and even your sanity. The abuser might insist that you're imagining things, or that everyone else agrees with them. Over time, you start to rely on their version of reality, losing trust in your own mind. Years of this can leave deep scars. Victims often develop anxiety, depression, and even PTSD. The effects can linger long after the relationship ends, making it hard to trust others or even yourself. You might find yourself replaying old conversations, searching for clues about what really happened. The pain doesn't just disappear, it becomes a part of your story. Everyday things, like making decisions or trusting others, become hard. You might second-guess yourself constantly, or feel paralyzed by fear of making the wrong choice. Social situations can feel overwhelming, and you may find it difficult to connect with new people. The world feels unsafe, and you retreat further into yourself. You might isolate yourself, thinking no one will understand. The shame and confusion can be overwhelming, making it hard to reach out for help. You might worry that others will judge you, or that they won't believe your story. So you keep your pain hidden, suffering in silence. What makes it worse? Narcissists often create a cycle. They hurt you, then suddenly act loving. This is called the cycle of abuse, and it's designed to keep you off balance. After a period of cruelty or neglect, the abuser may shower you with affection, gifts, or apologies. For a moment, you feel hopeful. Maybe things will finally change. It's confusing, and it keeps you hoping they'll change. You cling to the good moments, convincing yourself that the person you love is still in there somewhere. But the cycle repeats, and each time, it becomes harder to leave. You start to believe that you're the one who needs to change, not them. That's why it can take years to spot the abuse, and even longer to heal. Many survivors spend months or years untangling the web of lies and manipulation. Healing is not a straight line. It's a process of rediscovering your voice, your boundaries, and your sense of self. It's about learning to trust yourself again and finding the courage to move forward. But here's the hope. Recovery is possible. It starts with understanding what happened wasn't your fault. You are not to blame for someone else's cruelty or manipulation. The first step is recognizing the abuse for what it is and allowing yourself to feel the pain, the anger, and the grief. With support from friends, therapists, and even videos like this, you can rebuild your sense of self. Healing often means reaching out, even when it feels scary. It means finding people who believe you, who listen without judgment, and who remind you that you are worthy of love and respect. Therapy, support groups, and educational resources can all play a role in your recovery. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Healing is a journey, and it's okay to take your time. Remember, the scars may be hidden, but your strength is real. Every step you take toward healing is a victory. You deserve to feel safe, valued, and whole again.